Good evening, and thank you for attending this evening's board meeting. We have a quorum with a couple of people that will be here in just a few minutes. Before we get started, can we have the Pledge of Allegiance done by our soon-to-be senior student board member?
She's a senior.
Well, she is a senior.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. She is a senior, but our junior board member has not started yet, as they will be sworn in at our next meeting, which is the first meeting of September. So we invite you to come to that. It'll be a very exciting moment. We are thrilled to have our student board members. Next, we have our adoption of agenda. So I'd like to see a motion to either adopt the agenda as listed or to change it in some way.
Move approval of the agenda as printed.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been first and seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, it's unanimous. All right, that brings us to awards and recognitions, and for that, I will turn it over to Director Adrian Battle.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chair Elrod, board members. Great to see you this evening. Tonight, it is our honor to welcome Mayor John Cooper, who has been a steadfast supporter of our schools, our students, our faculty, our support staff, and our families throughout his 4 years in office. He has consistently invested in our people, our facilities, our technology, our academics, our athletics, our arts programs, you name it. Mayor Cooper has been there with us to ensure that we can continue to provide a high-quality education and ensuring that we're making sure that every student is known. So we thought it would be fitting to present a proclamation honoring Mayor John Cooper for all he has done for Metro Nashville Public Schools for the past 4 years, and I'll read it now. Whereas Mayor John Cooper has consistently put public education in the interest of our city's students, teachers, and school support staff first during his time in office. Whereas Mayor Cooper has been a strong and steadfast supporter of the needs of our schools each year. Whereas Mayor Cooper has used the power of his office to turn that support into historic investments in Metro Nashville Public Schools each of the last 3 fiscal years, increasing the district's operating budget by $84.11 million in FY2, $87.6 million in FY23, and $99.97 million in FY24, each of which set a new record for year-over-year education funding increases by Metro government. Whereas per-student funding has increased by 46% since Mayor Cooper took office in 2019. Whereas Mayor Cooper supported the district in the most challenging days of the COVID-19 pandemic by investing in laptops and other devices for all MNPS students, making MNPS a one-to-one technology district for the first time. Whereas Mayor Cooper further invested in making MNPS teachers the best paid in the state of Tennessee, while also significantly improving the pay scale for support staff members and helping make paid family leave available to district employees. Whereas Mayor John Cooper's leadership also led to significant Metro investments in social-emotional learning, high-impact tutoring, and summer learning programs. Whereas Mayor Cooper invested in construction of the new Goodlettsville Elementary School and James Lawson High School, both of which opened in August 2023, and also put funds toward design and/or construction of a new Cane Ridge Middle School, in addition to Cane Ridge High School, a new Antioch Elementary School, new or renovated facilities for Haywood, Lakeview, Paragon Mills, and Percy Priest Elementary Schools, and other facility upgrades, totaling more than $500 million in capital spending completed or approved on his watch. Whereas Mayor Cooper led the charge for Metro to invest in new turf fields for 15 MNPS high schools, the first of which are now being used for the 2023 football games, with soccer, girls flag football, and other sports and activities also expected to benefit from these new playing surfaces. And whereas these investments in instruction, personnel, technology, and facilities have contributed to strong student achievement and growth that earned MNPS a Level 5 recognition, the highest a district can achieve from the state in 2022, as well as outpacing the state in all but one TCAP testing category in 2023. Therefore, be it resolved that Metro Nashville Public Schools expresses its strong and sincere gratitude and appreciation to Mayor John Cooper for all of his hard work, advocacy, leadership, and support of our students, our teachers, staff, and families throughout his tenure as mayor of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Signed on this day, August 22nd, 2023, Rachel Lynn Elrod, Chair, and Adrian Battle, Director of Schools. Y'all, let's please give a round of applause and a MNPS welcome to our mayor, Mayor John Cooper. Mayor Cooper, please feel free to approach the podium.
Well, thank you, Chair. Well, I think I have very little to add, but if I can, this is the important thing about getting the money right. You know, you have to have a city government that gets the money right. You all are the biggest beneficiaries of people that can get the money right. I thank you for listing all the things that we have done together. And I think this creates an era for this board to now move on to achievement. You couldn't really do it if you had no money. And now you've got the foundation to create the next great era for education in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm so excited that you're going to be doing that. I mean, when I ran for mayor, had a phrase that teachers are the developers we need to support, and it sounded kind of, you know, a little bit of a slogan, but that's actually true. And in the last 3 years, particularly, I mean, the first year with COVID had a little bit of challenge to it. It is remarkable the degree that we've been able to fund education and create a new environment of excellence, and with your leadership. So when I ran for mayor, a teacher with a master's degree who had 11 years of MNPS classroom experience was earning $50,000. Now that same teacher, a few years later, is now making $72,000. That's a 44% increase. And young people starting out with a bachelor now make $50,000, what a veteran used to be making. Now, we have to keep at that work to continue the excellence, but that is a major change. The $300 million in additional operating money, I don't know what we would do if somebody had not stepped up, taken the bullets, and decided to fund education decisively in Nashville, Tennessee. Now with over $16,000 a student, this is a level, I mean, Nashville used to be really, I mean, our state was bottom 6, maybe bottom 10, maybe bottom 7. Nashville was part of that. Now on our own, I think this state, that if this county were a state, we would be right at 10th in the country in per pupil funding. That is a platform for greatness. And it has to have capital spending that goes on with it too, but this per student funding, again, with Dr. Battle, I've challenged her, we've challenged other people over time. Per student funding up 46% in the last 4 years. That is more than any city ever, anywhere, ever. If somebody comes up with another number, I would love to hear it and congratulate them. But this is what getting the money right is. It can sound kind of boring, but your partners downtown need to continue to do that. And you all here need to continue to put that to good use, to increase morale, student achievement, the quality of facilities, giving all these great kids so many ways to be successful, from the playing fields to music to drama to all the activities. And as you all administer the change, I am going to be looking over and just admiring your work in rolling out all these pre-K classrooms. It's overdue that happened in Nashville. How can you advance lower school reading unless you're starting out with a level playing field and resources dedicated to student achievement? But it's going to be a lot of work for you all in the next year to get that done. And Dr. Battle, this level 5 rating, I love that we can look at our own school system and even have the state validate its excellence. But don't stop here. Use the money. Get more money. Support the people that are supporting education, and make that be meaningful to all of our kids. And Nashville is the Athens of the South, and it needs to start with pre-K. And it does mean that our kids, it's not just Athens of the South applying to college students, it's Athens of the South applying to all of our young people. But I want to thank, as somebody that knows, each one of you for your service. It is harder than it looks. It requires patience. And it requires leadership, and it requires working with people patiently to create achievement. And I just want to thank each of you and congratulate you for being part of one of the great success stories, I think, going on in American education today, of a dramatic change in education and morale, and in starting out with this level 5 designation with achievement. And so that everybody in the state of Tennessee was going to want to come to Nashville for our school system. And that's a great reason to have people want to be here. And thank you all, Dr. Chair, each one of you. Thank you for your proclamation. I will enjoy it greatly. And again, every now and then I think it's great to take a deep breath and look back and go, $300 million. What would we have done? Where would we have been if we were on the same trajectory as a city back in 2019? At that level, we would be up just a few dozen $1 million. We would be drowning in teacher vacancies. None of us would feel the energy and the resolve to go forward and create a great school system. So I feel great about supporting you and supporting Dr. Battle, and I know the teachers feel great about you supporting them. And that's kind of how it all works. The council needs to support you. You need to support your superintendents. Superintendents need to support the teachers. And ultimately, kids have a great education, one teacher, one kid at a time. Thank you all very much. Grateful to be here. Thank you. Thank you for the proclamation. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mayor Cooper.
You're trying to run away.
We had a few comments, and we want to get a picture with you before you go.
I was going to say thank you so much for your continued support of our schools. It has been an honor to work alongside of you as you are supporting and putting a prioritization on Nashville's most valuable asset, which is our families and students. Our work is hard, not just as school board members, but as council members, as you're well aware of, and of course as mayor. But it's always important to get back to the individual people that it affects. And that's not just our students, but it's also our staff. It has been greatly, greatly appreciated by our board that we've been able to stick to our word of providing those types of raises that have been desperately needed since well before I was on the board in 2018. And not just for our educators, but for all of our staff, which have been so commonly overlooked. And we have been so greatly appreciative that we've been able to honor them with more than just our word of saying we support you, but being able to partner with you and provide those supports in a monetary fashion like they deserve. So we appreciate that. We, of course, appreciate your support of our students and our schools and the growth that they've had, and we hope to continue to do you proud.
Take a picture.
And will you please come up here so we can take a picture with you?
Here we go. Through the swinging door.
I'm very happy.
That's a whole lot of bullets in my bag.
Not today.
Great. All right. So going on a great meeting. Good luck. Thank you, Chair.
Could you sign it for me real quick so they can give it to him?
I want it on a different kind of paper. He already got this. I'm gonna get it on a different kind of
Okay,
paper.
well, I'll tell Michael. He was back there waiting, so let him know.
Yeah,
you
tell
want
him.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with us through our awards and recognitions. We appreciate everyone's support in pushing our students forward and helping us do the good work that we do, not just as a school board, but of course what our staff does, which is most important. That gets us to our next thing, which is the director's report. And for that, I will turn it again over to our director of schools, Dr. Adrian Battle.
All right, thank you again, Chair Elrod and board members. I'll be handing the floor over to Dr. Tina Stinson, our Executive Director of Research, Assessment, and Evaluation, to discuss last year's TM Ready results. As we discussed at our previous board meeting, Metro Nashville Public Schools continues to exceed state TCAP growth. Though our overall achievement level isn't where we aspire for it to be, we're committed to constant improvement for our students. While we can't eliminate generational inequities overnight or in one school year, our consistent efforts, investments, and proven strategies and supports for students and educators are paving the way. I'm pleased to report our positive results. The ongoing year-to-year TCAP growth showcases the dedication of students, educators, parents, support employees, and the community, fostering tangible academic progress. Educational excellence is a marathon, not a sprint. While we celebrate our progress, we acknowledge the space for growth. Our aim remains clear. Every student should have the chance to excel regardless of their background. Sustained growth doesn't happen accidentally. It's the result of planning, intentional planning, meticulous planning, student-driven choices, and collaborative stakeholder involvement. Innovative teaching methods by educators, empowering policies by administrators, and a nurturing environment by parents all play crucial roles. Dr. Stinson's upcoming analysis will spotlight strengths and areas for opportunities in our TCAP scores for 2023. I would love to have also been sharing our TVOS growth scores for last year, but unfortunately, those are still under embargo by the state. But we look forward to continuing to highlight the success of Team MNPS. Thank you once again to all of those, including this board, who've had a role in making sure our students are learning, growing, and thriving here in MNPS. Dr. Stinson, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Battle. Good evening, board members and board chair. It's a hard act to follow Mayor Cooper and his great discussion, but you get to see a little bit of the fruits of the labor that he talked about and the investments that we've made. Okay. 1 second, please. Technical difficulties on my end. Okay. Before we get started on the most recent data, I want to ground us in what happened last year in 2021-22 for TCAP and for TVOS. As you remember, MNPS was named an Achieving School District. MNPS earned Level 5 TVOS composite scores for the first time in a very long time, and we had Level 5s across the district in literacy, numeracy, and literacy plus numeracy, which we had not had since before 2015. And MNPS had 48 reward schools. So with that background and reminder, I'm going to get into this year's achievement and EOC results. First, it's worth noting that every assessment MNPS administered met or exceeded the 95% participation rate, often by 4 percentage points. We had a lot of 99%, even with absences. A higher percentage of MNPS students reached proficiency in 2023 than they did in 2022 for 9 of the 11 tested categories in district-run schools. This would be all of our high school as well as our 3 through 8 categories. MNPS student groups did grow, but achievement gaps, unfortunately, did not narrow. And we'll talk a little bit about each of these points going forward. One major celebration is that ELA scores are the highest they have been since new standards were introduced in 2016. And you see in parentheses the 2017 data because 2016 we had the truck that ran over the line to allow our students to test. Achievement scores improved at every grade level in math and science, and I should add they improved at almost every grade level in the other 2 subjects as well. 1-year TCAP achievement score improvements across 3 to 8 equaled or surpassed that of the state for all 4 subjects, with across those subjects 3,463 more proficient student tests. And when I say they met or exceeded, in 3 or 4 out of 4, they actually exceeded, and 1 they met. And we'll talk about that too. And then looking at grades 3 through 12, we equaled or surpassed the state in 3 out of 4 subjects, with 4,279 more proficient tests. With that, I'm going to get into the subject level results a little bit. These slides are all from the state report card, so they're highlighting some of what the state did for districts and for the state, even though the entire report card won't be out until November. This slide from the TDOE shows district ELA results across all tested grades. Not only did scores increase this year from 26.8% to the 28.5% you see, who met or exceeded expectations, this is after an 8 percentage point increase last year. So we met last year and we raised it. And again, last year's results surpassed pre-pandemic results. The gain from last year to this year in this category is 1.7 percentage points, which mirrors the state improvement. This slide I'm going to leave up for just a second because it's a lot to digest, but it's our ELA results by tier. The first chunk is elementary, the second is middle, and the third is high school. The high school is our English 1 and English 2 in this case. One thing I want to highlight about this slide is you can see the dip in the pandemic in that 2021 year. But not only are we increasing our meeting or exceeding percentages, but if you look, there's a stair-step decrease in that lowest category, which is shown in pink here. So we are moving students out of that lowest category as well as increasing proficiency. And you see that for elementary and middle schools, and a little bit of variability for high schools. We pulled out MNPS grade 4 ELA proficiency because the state last year highlighted grade 4 ELA and grade 7 math because they're very important to student success. And of course, it's something the state would like to highlight given the new retention law. There's just a couple of things I wanted to point out about this slide. So we are in purple, the state is in black. You can see our trends mirror very closely what you see at the state. However, we did improve by 4.5 percentage points from 22 to 23, and the state did 4.2 percentage points in this grade. So we outpaced the state a little bit on this particular grade subject. Now moving to math, you'll see a slide from 2017 to 2023. We not only did scores increase this year from 18.9% to 22.5%, meeting or exceeding expectations. This is after a very large percentage point increase last year again. So again, we're meeting, we're maintaining and growing year over year. Unfortunately, neither we nor the state are quite back to where we were pre-pandemic, but we're getting close, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to show this slide, because you can see how very close we are. MNPS proficiency gains, and when I say proficiency, I mean percent meeting or exceeding, are about a half percentage point greater than those of the state, 3 through 12 overall. Again, you can see the math results by tier with elementary, middle, and high in different blocks, and you see that same stair-step pattern that I was highlighting before with the green and the blue, the meeting or exceeding moving up, and the percent scoring below moving down, which is what we want to see. In this case, grades 3 through 8 typically take math, but some middle school students take integrated math 1, 2, and 3, and the high school scores also show integrated math 1, 2, 3, as well as the algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2 sequence. As promised, I'm showing you the Math 7, grade 7 proficiency versus the state. Again, you see a very similar pattern. Our scores mirroring the same up and down movement with the pandemic. In this case, we did not improve quite as much as the state in this particular grade, 4.3 percentage points from 22 to 23. And the state made a little bit better than that. Moving on to science, I'm not showing you everything. I'm going to just show you the tier for time. Elementary, middle, and high. The high school is represented by just biology in this case. We used to have chemistry, but just biology. The average percent meeting or exceeding across these was 29.5%. And overall, the state grew by 3.5 percentage points, but we grew by 5.6 percentage points from last year to this year. So a good deal higher. As the case in ELA and math, you get to see the stair step down of the below and the stair step up of the meeting or exceeding. Finally, social studies results by tier. If you remember, we have not had social studies tests in elementary school, that is grades 3 through 5, since 2018. So these are just the middle and high school results. The high school results are represented just by U.S. history. It's one of the few areas where we lost ground this year. 1.4 percentage points. However, the 6 through 8 did grow by 2.2 percentage points. With that, I'm going to turn to a little bit of analysis by student group. And these data, you had a very similar slide last year. So in keeping with that, we are using some preliminary results just so that the data don't change from last year to this year for last year. But here you see for our grades 3 through 8 ELA results by student group. You can see that all student group that we talked about at the very top. It's worth noting that the American Indian and the Hawaiian Pacific Islander student groups are large enough to display in this format, but are very small student groups. So they can vary wildly from year to year. Our subgroups grew, each and every one of them. If for Hawaiian Pacific Islander, it looks the same, but if you take it out one more decimal point, it would show growth. But our gaps did not narrow. All groups rose. And again, this is ELA. We'll look at the same thing for math, for results by student group. Each and every student group, just like reading, had higher proficiency in math in 2023 than they did in 22. But the gaps did not narrow as much as we would like to see. And with that short presentation, I am going to turn this back over to Dr. Battle, and thank you very much. Oh, wait, I have one more slide.
Thank you.
It's the TCAP achievement and EOC recap. I totally forgot about it in my nervousness. Achievement gaps, as we just talked about, remain an area for improvement. MNPS met or exceeded all participation rate goals, so especially in high school, we tested a lot more students. A higher percentage of MNPS students reached proficiency in 2023 over 2022 for 9 of the 11 tested categories. Those are the ones in district-run schools. Just as a side note, in Algebra 1 also improved for our charter schools. Algebra 2 and geometry did not. ELA scores are the highest they've been since new standards were introduced. Every grade level improved in math and science, and we have well over 3,000 more proficient tests across grades 3 through 8 and well over 4,000 across grades 3 to 12. And with that, I will turn it back over to Dr. Battle.
Thank you, Dr. Stenson, for this presentation, for your leadership with our data analysis and the focus and intentionality around growing and all of our students. So with the conclusion of the presentation, Chair Arata, returning back over to you.
Thank you so much. What board members have questions? All right, I will start with Member O'Hara Block.
Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Stenson, for the presentation. First, I want to recognize this is some really important progress that we've made now 2 years in a row. I think in particular, I feel really encouraged by the significant progress in math and science and continued steady progress in ELA. Those are not easy things to do year over year, and certainly in particular around math. To have had over the last 2 years to essentially double where we were during the pandemic year is, in terms of percent proficient, is pretty remarkable, and that's 5 to 7 point gains in an individual year is not the kind of thing you necessarily see. So super excited about that. I also wanted to acknowledge critically that we're both increasing on track and mastered, and as Dr. Stenson said, and reducing the percentage of students in the below group, which is just fantastic. Like that is exactly what you want to see over time, and it's the kind of continued improvement we need to see over time. That all being said, as you said, Dr. Battle, even with this progress, our overall academic performance isn't where we want it to be. As you say, know where you are and
but don't stay there,
right? So a few questions. ELA, all student groups are now above pre-pandemic levels, highest they've been since 2017, but in math, we're not seeing, again, with really strong progress, we're still not seeing where we're back at the pre-pandemic levels. Are there things that you're thinking about that we need to be focusing on in order to continue to see greater progress in 3 through 8 math particularly? And then I have a separate question.
Absolutely. I'm going to invite Chief Bellamy up to the podium or to his mic. Turn it on. You can respond from well, I don't know if will the camera pick up? I don't know.
I'm good.
Okay, well,
I'm going to go.
Okay.
After all that back and forth, I might have forgotten the question. I believe you asked.
I was asking about math as compared to reading 3 through 8. Just, what is
specific strategies?
Are there things we've learned from?
Sure. So I think first it's important to realize math actually took a further step back during the pandemic than we saw in literacy as well. So we did have further to climb coming out of that. We're obviously happy with the success we're seeing. We've also got a recent curriculum adoption that just went into place from 3 through 12. So we do believe very strongly that our instructional practices in math were well on their way going back to 3 or 4 years ago. There's been a lot of great professional development around that, and given that the state pushed the adoption back, we were kind of bridging from where we were to where we are now with material supplements. So we've now got that behind us, and so like you saw a launch to Literacy Reimagined, you've seen a similar launch to our math materials that rolled out this summer. And so the professional development attached with the high quality materials would be strategy number one, right? That's one of the very first things that we saw that helped with our success in literacy as well, along with professional development and the great work of our teachers and staff. And so we're excited as that rolls out, the professional development that happened this summer. Along with that, we've got strong intervention systems in place. We've been using iReady and mathematics interventions for tiered interventions for quite some time now. We continue to see growth for every student in those levels. As you dig into the data, you can see the great growth in particular for students moving from below to approaching, which is indicative that we're moving the right way to continue to see those progressions across the proficiency line. At the end of the day, it really comes down to making sure every student's known, right? So not to just give you a saying that we say, but we do believe that. And so through our processes, we're going to double down, as you've heard Dr. Battle say recently, double down on the things that have worked. So we've gotten high quality materials in the hands of our teachers that they need, the training they need to do it, and now we're going to support them in pushing those across the line.
I think probably 2 more questions, unless there's something I wanted to follow up on. Thank you, that is helpful. And I hadn't been thinking about the fact that there was actually a new curriculum even last year that folks are sorting through. So the improvement is all the more impressive. So 3 through 8 math, making more progress than high school math. What do we think we need to do in order to continue to see greater progress in high school math? And then basically same question, but on other high school subjects, period.
Sure. So I'll talk high school math in particular. I think first and foremost, the content is some of the heaviest that we get in all of education in our IM 1, 2, and 3 classrooms, right? The statewide trends there mirror what has happened in MNPS, so we're certainly not an anomaly and we're not by ourselves there. Additionally, some of more advanced classes take place in 8th grade, and so many of our students take IM 1 in 8th grade and are very successful at that. And so we also see harder to staff areas in high school mathematics, and that is certainly a complicating factor as well. Recently, David Williams, our talented executive officer of curriculum or teaching and learning, forgive me, my apologies, David, has undertaken some initiatives with my executive directors in high school to really dig in and find out exactly what additional supports our teachers and our principals need in that area. But they also adopted a brand new curriculum this summer and training accompanied with that as well. And so all of those are factors leading to a little bit of slowed growth there from what we see in 3 through 8, but we are infusing in some additional supports there in addition to our Scholars program that Chief Perry leads, Enriching Scholars, Promising Scholars that Chief Springer leads, and Accelerating Scholars that Chief Chen has a say in. So all of those are strategies that we've got to fine tune, and in particular focus in the numeracy area in high school. We are seeing more success in the literacy area in high school, and so we'll be laser focusing some of our resources to numeracy.
I'm going to be excited to talk more about high schools, I think, over time. The executive directors digging in with principals on what might be needed to make those improvements at high school would be great to hear more about that over time, like as we start to determine these strategies are working, these strategies aren't working as well. My final question is just, if we're looking across all of our students, and we have high expectations for all of our students, and Dr. Stinson acknowledged that the gaps are not narrowing, and I know the strategies that you just talked about are aimed at improving progress for all students, but is there anything we need to be looking to adjust, specifically EL students, economically disadvantaged students? Is it an issue or an opportunity across all schools? Is it some schools? Just what do you think in terms of gap narrowing growing in those couple of specific groups.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to Dr. Bellamy. I think, and kind of embedded in your question, just acknowledging that we are celebrating that all student groups are moving in the positive direction. And then, Dr. Bellamy, if you can talk about just the intensity of which we're trying to attack and address the achievement gaps that are just persistent and continue to be something we have to focus on.
Absolutely. It's a great question and one that keeps me up a lot of nights. And so first, I would just reiterate, we look within every band. So your presentation tonight speaks of proficiency, right? So across our 4 bands, we're looking specifically tonight at which students crossed a proficiency threshold, which I'll just remind the board is set after the test is taken by TDOE, right? We look inside of every one of those bands at each subgroup. And so specifically, for example, I can tell you that that our economically disadvantaged students move more out of the below category than our all student group did. And so we're looking to we look at closing achievement gaps as far more than just crossing that proficiency threshold. How many are we getting to the approaching category so that they can then in the next year cross that proficiency threshold? And so that's truly the heart of making sure every student's known. And when you know where every student is, through our screener updates we give you several times a year, our benchmark updates we give you several times a year, that's where our school teams can go to work at providing a plan for each student to grow both in those standards when you see a benchmark report or Tier 1 instruction, or when they're going to accelerating scholars and getting Tier 1 tutoring, or they can grow in their skills when you see their RTI groups if they're in Tier 2 or Tier 3. And so we hone in, of course, through PD for our EL students. Our EL department is one of the most talented I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Our EDD department is well equipped to do those things as well. And then we work with each of our school teams through the MTSS structure to look deep into each of those student groups. So I would say it truly gets to the heart of making sure you know what band those students are in, what their last score was, are they growing? And you'll recall we've met our focused outcomes several years running as far as students meeting or exceeding their growth percentiles or maintaining or exceeding their growth percentiles, depending on when we were using MAP to when we were using FAST. And so there's a lot of different measures of student growth, far more than just proficiency on TN Ready, which we're still paying attention to. And hear me say, every student will continue to be growing, and we will continue to close those achievement gaps. But that work starts knowing with where every student is currently and making sure that student is making adequate progress, including making further progress if they're on the lower end of those percentiles currently than a student on the higher end of the percentile.
Great, thanks. I will yield my time to other board members.
Thank you so much. Member Tyler?
Yes, thank you. So first off the bat, I just want to say that I'm really excited by the results that we've seen. And I want to take a moment to say that I know that there are some people who really just want to focus solely on achievement. And we know, and the research shows, that when you only focus on achievement, that you can predict the outcome based on income levels. And we can look at districts that are that have the highest income levels in their families, and you will know that they will perform higher. And we've seen that across the board, across the nation, across the world. We know that. So I think it's important that we recognize that, as Dr. Battle has mentioned and Board Member Block just said, that our achievement levels may not be where we want them to be, but we know where we are and we know where we want to go. We know how we got to get there. And so in order to move the needle on overall achievement levels, the way we do that is through sustained and continued growth. And that's why it's a big deal that we look at our growth, because we're never going to hit that achievement level if we're not also paying attention to how we're growing our kids year to year. And when you've got students who start off a whole grade level behind or 2 grade levels behind, you're tasking that student and that teacher with not only teaching 1 year's worth of subject material, you're tasking them with teaching 2 or 3 years worth of subject material in a limited amount of time. And then saying, in order to get you from the beginning of this year till the end, you have to not just learn 1 year's worth of material like all the other students who already started off on grade level. Now, you have to learn what you missed, and you have to fill in your holes before we can even get to this year's worth of information. And it's really important for us to recognize that this is not going to be an easy fix, and this is something that we're going to have to continue to strive for and to move towards every year
year. And I think that we've done a really good job of recognizing that it's not, while we are looking for the overall achievement levels to rise, and while we recognize that they're not where we want them to be, in order to get there, we have to pay attention to the growth. And so to discount growth discounts our ability to get there, and any other group's ability to get there. So, off my little soapbox for the moment. But I just wanted to take a moment to say, like I said, I think I'm very impressed with where we are. We've had a really great year. And so knowing that we have a little bit more of an insurmountable hill to climb than some other areas, I think it's really important to celebrate when we do good things. And I think it's important to look at our history and see, where are we moving the needle? How have we moved the needle? Where have we been successful? And so I would just love to know, Dr. Battle, if you could tell me, when was the last time that our district saw 2 years of gains similar to what we're seeing now?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that question, because I think this was like the first question I asked to the team once we received last year's data. And Tina, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been nearly over a decade since we've seen 2 years worth of growth at this level. And that's in comparison to before the standards change, and we know that we have far more rigorous standards today for our students. And to your point around the amount of growth expected for students year over year, I just want to remind us, last year being a level 5 district, what that signifies is that not only evidence for the annual goal of growth for students, that means that there's significant evidence that students are growing beyond what's expected in 1 year's time. And so I agree with you. We have to celebrate our teachers, our students, our parents, all of our staff who are growing students, because that sustained growth will eventually equal higher achievement rates for our students. And if we're serious about every student know where you are, but don't stay there, we have to focus on growing each and every one of our MNPS students. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, I think it's really important to notice when we're doing something good, to figure out what it is that's good, so good about it, and build on that. And that's exactly what I'm seeing you do, Dr. Battle. It's exactly what I'm seeing your team do, and I'm really pleased. And I also want to take a minute to congratulate all of our support staff and our teachers who are putting their heart and soul into making sure that our kids' needs are being met, because we couldn't do it without them. And we know that that's where that comes from, that ability to connect with a child, to have them know you believe in them and that you know that they can do it, and then to figure out a way to work together to make it happen. And that only happens with those kinds of relationships that our teachers and our support staff are forging with our students. So I just want to take a minute to congratulate your team for setting up the structure that makes it possible, and congratulate our teachers and our support staff for putting in the time and the effort and the hard work to actually make it happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Member Buggs?
Yes, thank you. Kudos all the way around. I just had a couple of questions about, a couple of questions about the numeracy portion again. We've heard rumor at the state that after all of this around literacy and the third grade retention law, that soon state legislators will begin focusing on numeracy at third grade. Is this something that you all have heard and are anticipating, and what can we as a board do to support you?
Go ahead, Chief Bellamy. I'll be happy to chime in.
Oh, my apologies. I should have directed that to you.
You're just fine. We were making eye contact, so go ahead.
Honestly, that's news to me. I can't say that I would be surprised by that development, but I would honestly lean on Chief Clay and our liaison, David Braum, to update me on any rumblings of that. But we'll be ready, whatever comes our way. We're going to support our kids. And what I said about the retention law last year, I still mean there's no better place to be than MNPS to make sure your child has every support they need so that they're not negatively impacted by any legislation.
No, I appreciate that. And I certainly do want to validate the idea that it is tough to find mathematicians who are trained teachers or who can go through the process of becoming certificated, because Dr. Williams, you know, that praxis for math 7 through 12 is rough, even for trained mathematicians. So I appreciate that. Do we still have that partnership where we're working with math professors at area universities to try to bring them in on those waivers of certification?
You're meaning teachers who, employees who are interested in teaching math and the permitting process, making sure that they're passing the praxis and developing their skills.
So yes, I remember this was a few years ago. We were looking at math professors at area colleges, or just trying to partner with them in a way that we could bring them in for at least a few courses a day or a few blocks a day, even if they were maintaining their adjunct professorship.
What is our policy called when you can pick up a block? The extended contracting.
Okay.
So we do still have extended contracting available. Are we seeing a lot of professors or some of our partners take that route to support our math curriculum and instruction? We're not seeing a lot of that today, but the extended contracting option and opportunity still exists.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I don't want to always be all doom and gloom, but I do want us to brace ourselves, at least as a board, and be thinking about how we'll be working with the state board around certification, because there are at least 3 area universities who have reached out to me to try to seek help in finding math professors for their campus. So this is going to be a phenomenon for a while. MNPS can do it. We're the best there is. Don't get me wrong. I just do want to elevate
Unwavering.
I just wanted to elevate that for us, especially as some of these nonprofits and other larger organizations are looking to invest in different ways. This could be another, just like we focus so heavily on the exceptional education certification, this could be an opportunity for us as a group, especially with our connections in the community and across the country, to start advocating for that focus.
Yeah, one quick shout out. So we do have a pretty robust partnership, in particular with Nashville State Community College, with our early college model, where we do share professors on campus and off campus. We also have a partnership model with Hunters Lane and Maplewood High School, which is expanding to Antioch High School and Cane Ridge High School, where our students will be transitioning from campus on Nashville State's campus this year for instruction from their teachers, and varied courses in that regard, but I do want to acknowledge that specific partnership with Nashville State Community College.
Thank you for that. Thank you all.
Dr. Gentry?
I think I ask this question once a year, and apparently I don't write the answer down because I can never remember what the answer is. So I want to go back to this concept of adjunct faculty, and then ask a question around a model that's applied in other areas and I'm just wondering if it applies. So first, just back to the adjunct faculty. Again, when I think about HCA, we've got lots of individuals who, we're partnered very heavily with MNPS, love to volunteer. What is the opportunity for someone who literally wants to teach high school algebra or can teach a high school algebra course, or teach a third grade math? I mean, what does the opportunity exist for someone who's a full-time employee at a company in the city, but has the ability and the bandwidth to do something like that?
I'm going to invite Lisa Spencer, Interim Chief of HR, up to answer this from a technical side, but our philosophy is if you care about our kids and you want to help build their mathematical skill set, we will work with you in order to get the proper certifications and permits to serve in our schools, but I'll let Lisa respond from a technical aspect.
And I think that's it. I think it is the licensure piece of it, and the licensure requirement, particularly at the high school level, around teaching those end of course or tested courses.
It is required by state law.
By state law.
That if there's an end of course exam, the teacher must be certificated.
Right. So what I would encourage is I would encourage them to volunteer for the tutoring programs.
Yeah.
And particularly any tutoring that can happen at the high school level.
And so we've, I say recently, in the past 2 years, implemented what we call colleague networks, or what other organizations call employee resource groups and affinity groups. I would love to just work with you and to arrange an opportunity to speak to those groups. It can be virtual, where they do Zoom meetings all the time. It's across the entire city, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of individuals on those calls to just talk to them about those opportunities, whether it's tutoring and then even getting licensure, but specifically for the ability for me to still keep my day job, but licensed to teach algebra in an environment. The other thing I want to ask is, and this is the model I was talking about, and I feel that the answer to the first question makes the answer to this question no, but just want to throw it out there anyway. So there are other professions where if I am supervised by a master instructor, right? I know you said, I'm not looking over there. I already know the answer is no. But I need to put it in the atmosphere because I think that's a challenge to our bandwidth and our capacity to make a difference. And again, this usually happens in very non-academic areas. But if I am licensed as a master instructor in a particular subject and I can supervise Frida, who's not a master instructor, but she gets the same teacher of record, I'm being told. So there's the teacher of record, but the one who's actually doing the day-to-day instruction is someone else. But the person who comes behind and verifies and checks and all those other good things. Is that not a thing that we can make?
Not allowable. The teacher of record must be licensed.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The teacher of record is licensed. But
if the teacher of record is licensed, we're great. But
I just think it's a new idea. So, and I'll just say it applies in dance. Let's say a dance. A dance can have a master teacher, right? And I can be a dance instructor in that studio, and everything I do for that student is accepted, is considered professional because I did it under, I'm the instructor, but I did it under the supervision of a master teacher who is the teacher of record.
Any course that requires an of-course exam, the teacher of record must be certificated or working on certification. We do have a crosswalk from the state of various courses that do not require specific certification. So a math teacher could teach out of content area in a kind of slew of different courses that we offer, or elective courses. But when it comes to those core content areas that require end-of-course exam, we have no waiver ability to put someone in who does not have certification. Now, can I add one thing? We are working on our pipeline development to kind of grow our own from our own teaching and service academies and from roles like classroom associates, so on and so forth, where we can begin to train gradual release with some things, but they're working with their certificated teacher. They're not the teacher of record for those courses, but we are beginning our pipeline development work to build that up. Yes, so the opposite can happen, yes.
Member Tyler?
Yeah, so I think it's also important for us to look at nationally. We're seeing struggles around the nation with teachers, and this is not an MNPS specific issue. And I think that it's really important for us to, and this is a bit more philosophical, but instead of lower expectations of our teachers, I would prefer to make the job more attractive to the people who already know what they're doing and are willing to take the time and effort to grow their own abilities. And it sounds sort of like what you're saying a little bit there, people who want to do it and are willing to put the time and the effort in to become somebody who would be certificated, who would be on that pathway. But I can't let it, I just have to say that the idea that we should just lower the expectations, which we've heard from the General Assembly, is not the right way to go, and it will not be the best way to help our students. At the end of the day, we need to make the job attractive enough to bring in the people who are good at it and will do good at it. And the way we do that is giving them respect, giving them time to plan, making sure we pay them a living wage. These are the ways we do that. I think we're making great strides towards that. There's a way to go, but we are working towards it, and I would like to believe that this board continues to fight to make sure that we are offering a position that is attractive to other people to want to come in and do this kind of work that is absolutely essential to the future of our country and the future of the students and the kids here. But to just say, well, we can lower the expectation of the people at the head of the classroom, it's not going to help us. It's not going to help our kids. It's not going to help our future. What we need to do is to start to step up what we're offering to the people who are already good at this and giving them the avenues like what you're doing with Grow Our Own, what we're doing with sort of student teaching type of stuff, and making it something that is feasible so that they know I can make a living off of this. And this is something I can do and make a difference in a way that is meaningful to my spirit and my pocketbook so that I can afford to live here. So
I personally believe that if you're going to teach high school mathematics, that we are the district to do that within, not only because of our additional supports within our leadership, but also our many community supports that we have and our way our high schools are managed and organized through our academies model. It would be the place to go. So I would always encourage that, whether that's through our own Grow Our Own or through people that want to transition into a different career or people that are currently in the education career but want to expand their certification and do something really hard. God bless you. It's not something I could teach. Not my blessings. But within this work, I see that we have a lot of growth within each group. So each group inside of our math and ELA results had their growth rate go up. I hear us that the gaps did not narrow that we like, and I hope that in a future director's evaluation or future presentation, we have some additional information on what do we need to double down on, as I think the phrasing was earlier, or what do we need to supplement or do better with, what do we need to find new things to do to try to help narrow those, though I understand that that is small gains and it's a long-term goal. I make sure I want to be clear that we know that. But with each group that has had a higher growth, I know that that's exceptionally important to all of us, and we should all be quite proud of that, and of course of our staff. We also had a lot of growth last year. So what does this year's growth mean for the district's growth compared to last year?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So if you're thinking about the fact that we did have every student group grew and significantly, I mean, we're talking about thousands of students more. We can look at percentage, but what that percentage equals is thousands of students more testing proficiently. We saw that on the last slide, 3,400 students more proficient across grades 3 through 8 and over 4,200 grades 3 through 12. So it's difficult to get hung up on the percentages, but when we're looking at individual students who are crossing that threshold, we're extremely excited about that. I think considering where we ended last year with growth, I'm highly encouraged by the growth that we've seen this year, and I think there's a strong possibility that what we'll continue to talk about is our educators, our teachers, our support staff, our students and parents working very closely, and our principals working very closely together so that there is significant evidence that our students are not only growing what's expected in a year's time, but evidence that they're significantly growing at a rate that demonstrates our ability to grow students overall and overall move proficiency. So I think it is a strong nod and a positive nod in the right direction, and I think that there's a lot more positive celebration and news to come.
I agree. I am anxious for us to have that information, not just for us, but for our staff that have worked so hard for those gains, our students, and of course our families. Last year, as you may know, if you're watching, you may know that we were level 5 last year. Can you tell us, and can you remind everybody what that means and how that's decided upon?
Tina Stinson, come on to the podium, our mathematician.
I wish I could claim mathematician. So level 5 means that you've made statistically significantly more growth than the average student in the state. That's the most simple way to put it. There's a formula that's, from here to the end of this room on how to get it. But basically, our focused outcome, where every student is meeting or exceeding their prior percentile, is meant to help us keep an eye on that through the year. So if my student is at the 50th percentile and he moves to 51st percentile next year, and then the next student does that, and the student after that does it, and a few move back, but most of them are moving forward, that's how you get level 5, right? And it makes a big difference in a student's life, especially if you're at the lower end of the percentiles. If you move from the 1st to the 3rd, that's a big deal. If you move from the 15th to the 20th, that's a huge deal. So it's kind of taking an average over all of those students. Taking into account something called regression to the mean. Like if you're at the 99th percentile, you probably don't have much room to grow, and they adjust for that. So.
Thank you. That was a great definition. Thank you. I know that understandably, we're very proud of that and continue to be very proud of that from last year. I heard from several people that were like, what does that mean? So I appreciate you giving us that definition, particularly because I am hoping for somewhat similar results, if not same results, as we continue to learn about what this means from the state. Oh, yes, Member O'Hare Block.
Can I add a quick thing on that, which is
yes.
that as Board Member Tyler was saying earlier, like the importance of the growth measure is it's every student making progress every year, which is different than just looking at, did we move over this hump, the proficiency hump, right? It's that it's the kids that are in the lowest group moving, it's literally moving up the scale as much as you can every year. And did you do that more than the average student in the state? That's what it means to be level 5. And that's a huge accomplishment. And it's important for every single kid to move every single year, which is what that means.
Yep.
Yeah, and just kind of echoing what has already been shared here, it's critically important that we continue to advocate at the state level, that growth is a part of the accountability framework. That is where you really see the level of effectiveness of our team and their ability to support our students and to make sure that they're thriving. So continued advocacy is needed for districts like us, and quite frankly, districts not like us, to really hold us accountable to the growth that is expected for every single student as opposed to just a single achievement score.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the answers and all the information. Thank you to my colleagues for participating and having great questions. That gets us to public participation. So we have 4 people that have signed up for public participation. Can we put that sign up or the list up? Thank you so much. So these are the names of people that have signed up for public participation. You have 3 minutes to address the board. At the end of your 3 minutes, you will hear a bell. That's it. You can watch your time, of course, up here on the wall. We ask that you share your name with us, and if you know the district that you live in, your district, you do not need to provide to us any other identifying information for privacy reasons. If you don't want to tell us where you live, we understand. We appreciate that you've made the time to, of course, be here and sign up, and it sounds like the first person we have in front of us is Ms. Honey.
I'm the oldest one in here. I'm old. I gotta go first.
You are not old.
First, I have to say I'm here to speak on the contract. I'm happy. Today is a good day. I'm so happy y'all are doing the work. Madam Chair, my superintendent, and let me say I agree with the mayor. Not too often, but the investment and what we have done for teachers has been great. Let's just not forget about support staff. And I want to say thank you because I had to pull this one off the new field that y'all put in. Baby, y'all saving me because I don't have a medical bill. Those fields are great. You mentioned why we have so much growth for TCAP. If you look at when this growth started, it's because we started investing in people. Direct correlation. You want to know why? Growth is happening in high school and not as rapidly as elementary and middle school. You have less support staff. We read aloud. We reinforce standards, reinforce what's on the test. We do everything we need to do for our babies, but it's like it stops and gets less and less as they get older when they need it more and more. Let's reinvest in support staff in high school. One more thing. We wanted to talk about 4%. I need more, y'all. Come on, invest in me. Show me. Continue to love. I can't say you didn't do it. You did good last year, but continue to love. Invest in me so I can keep investing in children. And I'm going to pat myself on the back. 20 plus years in Metro. I read aloud for these TCAP scores. For ELA and SPED. And if you've never done read aloud for TCAP, that is a feat in and of itself. I'm talking hours of reading out loud. I've done that every year I've been in Metro that I've been allowed to proctor. And I do believe it's been all my years in Metro except for 3. That is where you see your growth. TCAP is great, but you have to invest in people to get this growth that you love. And that is where I'm asking y'all to consider a bonus for us. Y'all know we have 2 short checks. 2 short checks. Fall break and spring break. Consider a bonus. We need it. I have this one I have to feed now. That's going to help me feed him. Y'all see he almost taller than me. Just consider the bonus. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Thank you. We next have Kelly Lawrence here to talk about the Amazon Capital Services. No? Oh, just check traffic. Next we have James Brown. Nope. After that we have Donna Clay.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
To the chair, to Dr. Ballard, and to the board. I came today to speak on y'all contract with y'all was to get supplies for kids. I think that is tremendous, and I'm gonna tell you why it touched me so bad. Because my grandson was struggling with 3rd grade. I mean, it was like he was not going, like he didn't do. Whoever came up with that Scholar Promise, they came from Rutherford County, so he was getting the attention he needed. But when he came to Metro, he couldn't get it because they told her they didn't have the staffing for it. But when he went to Scholar, the Promise Scholar, I don't know what they taught him in that class, but my baby can read good. I'm talking about he ain't stuttering. He know his words. His English is getting better. In just them 30 days, now he in a bigger classroom. He's still learning to raise his hand and ask questions. I thank them for the Summer Scholar. It was a good tool for him, and I appreciate it. I mean, I don't even know who the teacher was, but I thank her. I thank the teacher for helping him because he has really grown to move to the 4th grade. And doing good. And the teacher, he sends home these reports. He's doing excellent 4th grade, just starting out the school year. We just ain't even over the whole month yet. I'm excited. I'm excited about all the kids learning, because I'm a school teacher too in the cafeteria, because I got to teach them how to count that money when they give it to me, when they say, do I have enough? But I appreciate everything y'all have done for us with the bonus, with the raises, with everything. But I'm here for that bonus too. we still need that extra money because we still get, I'm fighting for the people who coming in behind me because I know I ain't gonna always be here, but I want them to know that people care about them and the job you do. Our job ain't easy. We standing up from 6 o'clock till it's time to go home. We serving kids. We gotta do the food, prep the food, and all of that. It's not an easy task job. It's really not. And people think we don't do a lot, but we really do a lot. I do a whole lot. I love those kids. They're not mine, but I love them. I'm not going to give up on them in any kind of way. I love those kids. I help them in that cafeteria. Not only teachers, that is a foundation, but support staff is a foundation as well. We are the foundation because we see those kids. We know they have bad days. We see it. They come down the line. When they're acting up, all I got to do is rock my chair over. They catch me. Okay, Miss Donna. Okay. Then when they get down and I ask them, what's wrong? Why are you having a bad day? I want them to tell me if something bothering them because that's the only way they're going to get through their next period of the class to open their minds and perceive what the teacher's going to teach them. But I thank y'all so much for the Promise Scholar. Please don't ever stop doing that. He even ready for next year. And I can't believe he want to go to summer school, but he does. But I thank y'all for that. I'm telling you, the teachers was tremendous, and I'm so happy that y'all want to invest in the kids because it do start at a youngest age. It really does. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, I appreciate hearing from those two members. I'm sorry to the other two that could not make it. That brings us to our governance issues, which is our consent agenda. We have adopted the agenda as listed earlier, so if there is no objection, these items will be adopted. All right. Seeing no objection, those have all been adopted. Thank you so much. That brings us to announcements. So we will first start with District 1. Nope, we will move on to District 5. Nope, 3. No 5. 3, and there's no 4, so 5. So excuse me, I told y'all, teaching math high school.
Y'all keep giggling so you can give me a minute.
Okay. If you need to skip you, we may.
If you don't mind.
Of course, I will. I can come back to you. I apologize. That was a big jump for you.
No, you're okay.
District 6. No announcements? District 7?
No announcements.
Okay. District 8?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No announcements?
I have just a couple.
That's okay.
Okay, I can stall.
All right, District 5.
District 5, showing up. All right. I would like to remind the community, anyone that has not heard about it, United Way has rebranded their citywide literacy initiative that starts from birth. They're really focusing on that early literacy space so before students even get to MNPS, or at least in pre-K. If you would like to participate, and I would actually recommend that as many community members as possible try to engage in at least one of the working groups to add your thoughts, to make sure that this is being shaped in a thoughtful way, because there are investment dollars being made from different philanthropy groups, both statewide and nationally. So I would suggest you reach out to the United Way of Greater Nashville. If you have trouble getting in contact with anyone, please feel free to reach out to me and I can connect you with any of my former colleagues. I would also like to remind you all that the Metro Parks Board is continuing to work with the Tennessee Golf Foundation. If you have any recommendations, any thoughts you would like considered as we forge that partnership, please feel free to let me know. Again, they're looking to focus on a youth component that I think might be incredibly beneficial to some of our students who have never been exposed to the sport. And the last thing that I'll say, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, Pencil is hosting its annual breakfast, and we typically hear from MNPS students during this time. So if you're available at 7 a.m.
Thursday, not Wednesday.
My apologies. This is Thursday. Yes, please feel free to reach out to Pencil, get a ticket, and join us at Belmont. I also want to remind you all that the special session has been called. You can feel free to watch it at Capitol, or watch the proceedings at capitol.tn.gov. What we're seeing being discussed will likely not pass, but this sounds like it is a precursor for what will be passed in January, or at least submitted as bills. So if you're a policy person, please go to capitol.tn.gov, rewatch some of those committee meetings, and then look towards the future. And lastly, on a very personal note, thank you again to those support staff that came out today to speak to us, to remind us of your passion and the necessity of you. Like I said, the last day my father worked in this district was the best day I had with him because I was forced to sit with him for about 5 hours. I also, again, want to say thank you to all MNPS staff that have supported me during this transition phase. I really do appreciate it, from the flowers you all sent to coming to my father's funeral. Some of you all came to the visitation and spoke so well about and so eloquently about my father, and just the prayers and the thoughts have certainly been felt. But I know for a fact, and I've said this on this board floor before, 3 of my parents, my stepdad, my stepmom, and my father, all work in MNPS as support staff. So please know that we will never think that you're not a necessity. That is never the case. Whenever I'm talking to council members, whenever I'm at the legislature, I am mentioning every educator. If I call you teachers, it's because I assume you are an educator also. It is not to segregate you. It is to include you in all of our discussions. But again, I just cannot thank MNPS enough for all the ways you've been supporting my family as we work through this. The last thing that I'll say is that we didn't realize at 7:30 that morning, around 7:30 that morning, my dad called his manager to let him know that he wasn't feeling well. And that was about 15 minutes before his heart attack. And whatever calm she offered him, I certainly appreciate it, because what we found on his phone was peace. I'll just say that. So thank you.
Thank you. District 9.
I'm sure that you will also mention it, but we have a retreat coming up to discuss something along the lines of a bonus for our support staff, for our teachers. It's really important to me that we continue to show our support and our gratitude for the work that you guys do, and I will be personally fighting to make sure that that happens for you guys. I know, as Board Member Bugg said, you're integral to what we do in this. You, our teachers, we could not do it. We would not exist without you. So that will be happening on next Tuesday, next week on the 29th from 9 a.m. to noon. It will be taking place here. For anybody who's able to join us. If not, then I would encourage you to send emails beforehand to let us know what your thoughts are. Also, just now moving from that, we had a lot of starts to our athletic teams recently, and just wanted to update everybody about how our new Lawson Lightning athletic groups are doing. We had our girls soccer team win their first game 7-0. We had our Lawson volleyball girls team also have a first win, and in an extremely exciting and very well attended home game for our very first football home game, our boys were able to win in the last 5.8 seconds of the game in a nail biter that was really exciting. And so just congratulations to what I'm seeing going on. I think the excitement around the new fields, around having a space around you that is so pristine and exciting and makes you want to raise your game. And that's not just, we're seeing it on the athletic fields, but we're going to see it in our academics too as well. Because when you've got that kind of support around you, that's what you're going to rise to the occasion. So I'm excited to see what more our athletic teams are going to have in store for us. I'm excited to see what our students are going to be performing, and I'm really excited for us to continue to invest in our schools so that we're seeing this across the district, and that all of our schools have these kinds of amazing locations and support around them so that they can also perform at high levels. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you.
All right. Member Mays, I know you needed to say something.
Yes, really quickly. I wanted to thank everyone who participated and attended last week's post office designation ceremony for former Senator Thelma Harper, and it was very well attended. It was a beautiful ceremony, and her family continues to receive accolades, and so I thank everyone. That was a lot of planning, and it was something that we definitely needed to get done. But I also wanted to share, for anyone who may not be aware, this Thursday at 10 a.m., the Postal Service will be unveiling the Representative John Lewis post office stamp. The ceremony will take place at the American Baptist College in the Lewis Scruggs Conference Center. That's at 10 a.m. on this Thursday, August 24th, and the public is invited to attend.
I mentioned the John Line and the RCT that participated.
Yes, absolutely, and big shout out to Maplewoods ROTC Color Guard and their drumline for participating in the Harper Post Office designation ceremony. They were tremendous, and so I thank them very much. And I must say, they did it at the last minute. So Dr. Brooks was very gracious, and Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer were very gracious in helping us make sure that that happened. So I thank them very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Do you have something, Member O'Hara?
I do. You want to go first? You get to go first.
I just wanted to share, I don't know if the public is aware of the investment recently that was made in Parkwood Community Center, the baseball fields. So Morgan Wallen, I think is his name, country music star, has collaborated with Habitat for Humanity in Greater Nashville. To make us over $1 million investment into Parkwood, to put new and improved baseball facilities there for the kids in that community. And I'm drawing a blank on the couple's name that has just been there for decades. Yeah, Thurman Bryant. Yeah. He and his wife have been there for decades, helping kids and being there and making sure the park was available. But, there were no lights, and the facilities itself were run down. And I know it's that our students that get to take advantage of this investment. And we know, again, we have this conversation. This is what we mean about access. This is what we mean about equity. If we give our students the resources that other students have, those gaps that we see in achievement, whether it's on an academic field or in a classroom, can be closed. And so this is just an example. And so I want to publicly thank those individuals who made it happen, those individuals who were at that announcement at Parkwood, and to see just a genuine, not just the dollars, but a genuine commitment to be there for those students, not just with the money, but ongoing, was very heartwarming. So I'm looking forward to the great things that will happen for our students and for the next Mookie Betts that will come from that experience.
Member O'Hara Block.
So if you got excited about our conversation around achievement and growth and accountability and why it is so important that the state accountability model continue to include growth in particular, and think about trying to incentivize school districts and schools to grow all kids every year, the Tennessee Department of Education is currently hosting a series of meetings on the accountability framework and the future of accountability, which may actually take place. They may actually make changes to that formula and how it's done in the next 2 months. And so a great time to speak out. Wednesday, September 6th is the next meeting for this region at the Ellington Agricultural Center. The information about the meeting is on the Department of Education website, tn.gov/education. If you go to the newsroom, every single one of those opportunities to go and speak and let the state know where you stand on the accountability system is there. So I would encourage teachers and principals and parents and all of us to make sure that our voices are heard, to continue to focus the state on growth for all kids every year, which is the most important thing we can do.
Thank you. Senior Board Member.
Hey, guys. I don't really have any major announcements, but I do want to reiterate what you guys said. High school math is hard. It's really hard, and I do want to reiterate something I heard in public participation, that the support can't stop in high school, and I think that the data shows that if anything, more support is needed. And we need just as many support staff. We need, just as much attention. We need personalized learning time and interventions, and we have to be strategic and very intentional, because if you look at the size of our schools, Hillsborough, I think they said our count was, I want to say it was 1,270. So that's 1,000 kids, and we're trying to get 1,000 kids, proficient. And so it's going to take a lot, and it's going to take, intentional strategies. And personalization and getting to each individual student and having that support. So I just want to say, keep up the good work, but, make sure that we are recognizing that high school math is hard, and they need just as much support, if not more support, and I think the data really does show that.
Thank you. All right, as mentioned, on Tuesday, August the 29th, we have our board retreat that'll be hosted here in the boardroom from 9 to noon. The agenda will be posted by Thursday, as usual, for our Tuesday meetings. Also, please be advised that our meeting on October 10th has been canceled because it's during fall break, just in case you need to make those plans with your schedule. Our next meeting, so the first meeting in September, will include the swearing in of our new junior student board members, so I look forward to introducing them to y'all. Please be sure that you're available to that if you want to come see them and encourage them and their public service to their own students and starting off a strong school year for themselves. And then, of course, about the special session. As you know, there's a special session this week, and there's lots of conversation about it. But what I would like to make sure that is known is that there's broad bipartisan support across our state for common sense gun laws and prioritizing gun safety. Firearms have contributed to the deaths of more children in the United States than any other type of injury or illness. And that horrifying statistic continues to rise as it's more than doubled the past 5 years. And Tennessee is not immune to that. And something serious needs to be taking place for the safety of our students and our families, and of course our staff as well inside of our schools. Though we are an elected body, we are a governing body. So we are limited in the things that we can do to provide those protections for our families and for, of course, our staff. But I am proud to work with these colleagues and that we have worked together, of course, with our leadership to provide as many supports as we can, including some contracts from today. But no matter how many things we purchase or protections we invest in or personnel that we also invest in, there are still some simple things that the state can do to provide better protections for all of us, not just inside of our schools, but our daily lives that are all affected by gun violence. It is truly horrifying sometimes to hear from our students that have that type of interruption or our own staff that have those interruptions. It makes it hard to do their daily learning inside of our learning environments when their own home environments are so difficult. So I'm grateful for this work that we have done. I appreciate the advocacy that we continue to do. I pray that our state legislators' hearts are softened by the worry that is carried by a lot of our students and families, and that they listen to that this week, and that our Tennessee's children deserve the betterment of our strong debate that needs to take place and the hard work that needs to take place, whether it's this week or in the future, for those better developments for the safety of all of our communities. With that being said, there's no further business. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's one more thing, I apologize. We did have our family university last week because, again, our families are one of our most important investments that we can have. So we had family university last week. It was well attended and strong support there. We have another one coming up. When is the next one?
I don't have the date.
We'll let you know. Check our.
Fun. We have a party.
It's a very.
Giveaways.
It's excellent. We really appreciate the support, not only from my board, but also from, of course, our colleagues here as leadership on MNPS, but also all of our families. If you ever have a question about what's coming up, if we forget something, to mention it here on our board announcements, you can always look at our website. It's very frequently updated, those types of events. So thank you so much. Be there no further business. This meeting is adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.